Wow, you really dressed up for me today.
I sure did. Comfy and cozy is the way to go. I got, this is one of my Christmas presents from my sister. She got Cordelia and I matching like strawberry Snuggies. So I was like, oh, I'm never taking this off.
Yeah.
I'll be so skinny under here, you won't even know.
This is like a step below loungewear. What is under loungewear?
I don't.
Sloth wear.
Yeah. But look, it's like huge. Let me show you here. And it's got, so it has these pockets here, and then it has this like kangaroo pocket. So like I could put my laptop in here and like,
wow,
you know, go around. I know. I'm like in love with this thing.
I, since the last time I saw you, had a stylist come to my house. I think I told you she was coming.
Yes. How did that go?
It was actually amazing. She helped me clean out the closet kind of one last time. So everything that's in there fits and is not from Costco. She told me a couple things. No more buying clothes at Costco. And I was like, okay. Wink.
That's gonna be a hard one. That's gonna be hard.
Anyway, I was saying she gave me some rules, like
yes,
get dressed every day. She thinned out all the stuff I like just hang on to, and I was in the right mood to get rid of it all too, which so was like that magic combo. Sometimes you're not in the mood and you get all stuck.
Yeah, no.
And then she put everything in a color order. Mine was pretty close, but hers was better. So she put all the things in this color order that was just so harmonious and beautiful. And there's room, there's like space between everything. So when I get dressed, I can actually see everything and I feel like I'm caring for my things. And then she also said, like, you can't buy any more like low quality stuff. Like, stop the Stitch Fix, don't do it anymore, which I'm ready for. I don't want to buy any more disposable clothes anyway. So my shopping's kind of going to go up a level, but I'm going to buy less. So I don't think I'm going to, I think I'll still spend, I may even spend less, but I'm just going to buy more quality stuff and less volume. And she said, wear navy. Quit wearing so much black and switch to navy. And I was like, what if I have to wear black shoes? And she was like, it's going to be okay.
Yeah, you'll be fine. Promise.
Yeah. So
you'll get through it. Just like wearing jeans with black shoes, it's the same concept. Yeah, I get that. I've been kind of feeling like that too, where I'm like, I would rather have less and more high quality, expensive. That's not a word, but okay. More expensive, high quality things than have a lot. Because I feel like when I was younger, it was all about the volume. It was all about never wearing the same outfit ever again twice, or never putting together like the two same things. And I'm grown out of that. Yeah. And the other thing, I feel like now that I'm thinner, I'm not hung up on what I wear anymore. Because I thought that I would be like, oh, I'm thinner, I'm going to want more things to show off my figure, to be like, and I don't. It's so weird. Because if before it was like, oh, like this outfit, these jeans had to go with this dress and this and that, you know, and all the accessories. And it was like, what was I was trying to hide myself like underneath all of this, you know, all the things. And part of it's like my personality. I'm very colorful and that kind of stuff. But like, yeah, I feel like I don't care about that as much.
Well, I will put she left me with a page of instructions. I'll take a picture of it and put it on our Instagram at Less of You Podcast. Yeah. Well, maybe it's just Less of You. How come I can't remember? And
it's Less of You Podcast.
If we can, okay. Thanks, boss.
You're welcome.
I really like the rules. They're really, really good. And the closet, some of it is a little bit not my personality. Like it says, turn your closet into a sanctuary and like do all these things to the closet. So I did some of it. I replaced the rug, which was really old and gross. I got a new one and it looks really nice. I like going in there. It feels good. So I think those tips would be good for anybody, and I'll put them up there. But because it's a new year And we're sort of post-Christmas, and we could certainly come back to talking about, how we dealt with Christmas food. I did eat some chocolate, whatever.
Oh yeah, we binged on chocolate for sure.
But I think a lot of people are starting the medication, either semaglutide or tirzepatide. And the other big thing that's happening is they took tirzepatide off shortage again for real, I think this time. And so I'm going to have someone, probably Dr. Misra, come back and talk to us about several medical things. So you can expect to hear from our friend, Dr. Misra. She's amazing. In January, we'll have her back for a special episode to talk about some of that stuff. And I think we'll have her read our labs and tell us what's in the tea leaves, things like that. And I need to talk to her about binge eating disorder and what happens, to your brain. I mean, I have a very long list for Dr. Misra, so maybe more than one episode.
Yeah, my clinic was telling me the same thing, and they actually, so this last refill that I got was with a different compounding pharmacy than they had previously been using because of that. So they're like, we're using a different pharmacy. So what's cool is that you pay for it, but the vial that I get's a little bit bigger. So it's a little bit more expensive. So it's $400 as opposed to $450. Or no, sorry, the other way around. But you get a little bit more. I'm like, okay, $450. Yeah. So I was like, so it's to last me just a smidgen longer. So that's good.
Yeah.
But I wasn't real thrilled with the way that it came packaged. So with the old pharmacy, I got a freeze-dried, a freezer pack, essentially. And it was all whatever. And this was just the thing in a box, overnighted.
Came straight from the pharmacy, so the pharmacy's doing something different?
It's a different pharmacy.
Yeah.
So I'm like, but maybe it's because I have to look and see if it's local. It may be lettuce local. And so that, because the other one was in Florida. And so maybe because of the temperatures there, they had to do that. So I'll double check it. But I was like, because it came in this little tiny box and I was like, this does not seem like what I should be getting, but it was fine. So I'm like, okay.
Well, the other thing, there's a pharmacy, there's a bunch of people from one of the pharmacies that are going to be at a conference I'm going to in a couple weeks. So maybe I'll try to get one of them to come on the show. Wouldn't that be cool?
Oh, that'd be really cool.
Yeah, I think so too.
That's really
what
cool.
I can do. I'll use our huge numbers of downloads to attract them to our.
Heck yes. They should just want to be with us. It doesn't matter.
So for the newbies, I kind of want to run through our favorite tips. And the first will be getting information. I want to talk about that. The second set of tips will be for nausea. And the third will be for our favorite subject, which is constipation.
Poop. Which is our butts.
Yep. So let's talk about what you read on the internet, because I think that's the most important thing of all that I could say is everyone who is a super responder will start this medication and then go, if they lose a ton of weight really fast, they'll go on the internet and be like, I lost 27 pounds in the first month. It isn't true. And
that's not accurate at all.
It is such a small fraction of the people, but I think they're really noisy. And so I just want to start with, don't believe what the super responders are saying, because the large majority of people lose very slowly. And our friend Maureen told me yesterday that initial dose of semaglutide is 10 times less strong than the therapeutic dose. You're just taking a teeny, tiny, itty bitty little dose. It's not going to do much because you have to ramp.
Right.
So if you don't lose in the first week, second month, if you haven't lost much, don't get discouraged. Just stay the course and keep going. I did not lose until the third month.
No, I lost in the first month, I think.
You did. But I didn't. And your mom did.
Yeah. Yeah. Huh. That's weird. But, and I've said this before, but slow and steady wins a race here, guys.
Yeah. I stalled a lot. I'm still down 90 pounds in less than just under 2 years. And it was slow, but here I am.
My 1 year's coming up.
Yeah.
1 year.
Yeah.
And next month.
So my starting weight was 280 and I'm now, today I was at 194. And yours was what?
I started at 250. I am at 205. I've pretty much like plateaued over the last couple of months, but my goal's still 150, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think my goal is 175.
Mm-hmm. Gosh, you're coming up, girl. Coming up.
Okay, so let's do weird things. First, weird things that happen. How are you going to feel? I, to this day, still can get dizzy if I lean over too far. And in the beginning, that was a lot. And so the other thing I noticed, because I was doing Orange Theory a lot back then, was that hard workouts were almost overnight were really hard to do. Like I couldn't do a crazy hard workout on the medication. And so I slowed it down, which was fine. And I could not drink alcohol and I could not eat fried food for a very, very long time. And still can't really eat a lot of it, but I can have, eventually I could have a drink and drink it, half of it, or, I mean, I just don't want it. So I don't really care that I don't want fried food, but if you eat it, you'll pay for it. And so you just don't want to do that. And you want to eat a lot of protein and drink a lot of water.
Absolutely. Yeah, I did notice, without noticing it at first, that I didn't have any alcohol cravings at all. So I still rarely do. Like I think I had a little bit like around Thanksgiving, so all the family was here, but it wasn't like something I wanted to reach for. It wasn't like, oh yeah, I'm going to crack open a beer or I'm going to, pour a bottle of wine with my food or whatever. It just wasn't, just not at the top of my mind. So that'll come along with when you experience the no food noise. The food noise, you'll realize what that was when you don't experience it anymore. But for fried foods, again, I'm just not really craving it. But if I overdo it, I can tell because I feel like I swallowed a 10-pound bowling ball.
Oh, yeah. It takes a couple hours to kind of recover from.
Yeah.
I did it yesterday.
Oh, I did too. We ordered McDonald's. I had chicken nuggets. Like, I was like, oh, this is so great. And then afterwards, I'm like, oh, God, what did I do? And my daughter's like, Mommy, is your tummy upset? Yeah, baby. Oh, God.
Okay. Okay, so nausea. If I got some nausea, it didn't really happen to me a lot. I didn't have that side effect a ton. But if I did, I just ate protein immediately and it would go away right away. That was my trick for nausea. Did you have one? They'll prescribe Zofran for you if you want to take something really for it. I just never bothered because it never, like when you're having a baby. I never needed it then either. I was like, I don't want to take more pills.
Right? No, mine never got so out of control. I did have some heartburn for sure.
Oh, yeah, I remember that. I did too. But that went away.
Yes,
Really?
that was like maybe like off and on for maybe a couple of weeks, and then it was fine.
Yeah, so, I wonder what that is. I'll put that on the Dr. Misra list. Why do we have it, and then why does it disappear?
I don't know, maybe your body you're re-regulating because everything's going at a different pace, maybe? I don't know.
There were stretches where my appetite suppression was so strong that I didn't eat, and I actually had to go out of my way to remember to eat. So I just want to throw that in there. You can't not eat.
Yeah, there was a couple times where I got the end of the day and I looked at my app and I was like, I've only eaten 500 calories today. This is not good. Like, okay, whoops. But protein drinks, saved me there because I was definitely not getting enough protein. And so I get the ones from Costco, and it's their it's not the Fairlife. It's called Nuri, Nurri. One container's like $20 or something. So it's not as expensive as the other ones. And it tastes just fine, and it's still 30 grams of protein per drink. So I was like, I try to drink one of those a day.
Yeah. I still drink the Fairlife. I enjoy microplastics in my protein drinks. So
that's wonderful. These are the aluminum cans.
Oh, I'll have to try those. I did discover sort of out of necessity that Sam's Club and Walmart are amazing at delivering stuff really fast for free. Like if you're a member or if you have a Walmart Plus. Yeah, I get it from my American Express card. And
we have that because Justin works there.
Oh yeah. That membership saves us so much time because that stuff will just show up, like almost the same day most of the time.
Oh, that's great.
It's sort of turned my opinion about Walmart positive.
Nice.
Funny. Yeah. Okay. So I think we covered all the nausea. Should we move on to the bathroom?
Let's go.
Magnesium, number 1.
Yeah.
I used to take Calm gummies, and then now I'm taking this real food grape chewable magnesium, and I like it a lot better.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I take magnesium, a probiotic, and fiber gummies. And still will have problems like if I skip a day.
Yeah.
It's not great. It's not great.
No, it's not.
So
you don't want to skip a day. You really
you got to really
in front of it.
be on top of it when it comes to that stuff, or you're going to be hating life.
Pears
for sure.
and mango. Pears are amazing
pears
for this.
And mango.
So I've been trying to eat pears for breakfast like almost every day. They're kind of good right now. If you go to if you have Trader Joe's and you can get a box of Harry and David pears pretty inexpensively, and they're delicious.
Oh, I saw that the other day when I was there, and I meant to grab some, and then I didn't. So I'll have to go back.
Of all the things, I think this is the most important, because if you do get behind, then you can actually end up, I don't know if my injuries are from being behind or from having heavy babies and being heavy when I had heavy babies, or sitting all day, or not exercising enough, or it's probably a combination of all of that.
Yeah, like check. Yes.
So
it's probably not just one thing. It never is just one thing. It's never just like, oh, I do this one thing and it causes me all these problems. If I don't do that one thing, then no, that's not how it goes. It's always multifaceted.
The thing I won't do, no matter what happens, and I'm going to have to deal with this again really soon here, because I am supposed to get a colonoscopy like in the next couple of months, is I refuse to take Miralax. And I feel like that's what they make you take when you're about to do that. So stay tuned. I don't.
Yeah, but it's not like you have to take it on a regular basis. Like it's like a one-off thing. I don't think
it's just off the table. And I'll tell you why. It's polyethylene glycol. It's not a substance that occurs in nature anywhere. And they push this like it's totally fine. It's the same. I mean, it strips your gut of all its healthy bacteria. So you spend all this time like taking probiotics and trying to make sure your gut health is okay. And then you throw some polyethylene glycol in there and go, oh, it's going to be fine. I'll just bounce back from that. I just would prefer not to even try that. I don't want it.
Well, maybe there's got to be an alternative.
What did they do before Miralax? It's not like...
Well, there has to be people that are allergic to it, right? Like if you're like, oh, I'm allergic to this, what's the alternative? There has to be an alternative. I don't know what it is, but you can't be the only person that's,
I'm going to find out. They will also say that you can take like a softener, like when you were pregnant, and when I was pregnant, we probably both had to take, what was that one called? Do you remember?
I just got over-the-counter stool softeners.
Yeah, Colace.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
That one. I took it. I don't remember it causing any issues for me. But that magnesium works great, so I haven't needed to figure out anything else. So
yeah.
I think the last thing would be where to find good info online. And in the beginning, I was in a bunch of subreddits, both for Sema and for Tirzepatide, and then there's a bunch of offshoots of those. Some of them are questionable because they're run by the pharmacies or the people who are behind them have hidden agendas. But in general, you can read a lot of firsthand accounts of people's experiences in there. And over time, you can pick up patterns, which that's what I think the benefit of Reddit would be. Not any one specific subreddit, but just a lot of real-time feedback from people. And it gets crazy. It's gotten crazier. Like I can see in there right now, there's people who are trying to figure out how to compound their own to save money and to get around the shortage. Like they're going to order the peptide and they're going to do what the pharmacy does. They're going to do it themselves, which I think is probably not the safest thing to do.
No way.
It's like the Wild West. I feel like I've gone on the dark web.
For real, I'm not on Reddit. I don't, but, and this is why, because I would be like, you guys are crazy. Done.
Yeah.
Click,
down,
closed,
down,
deleted. Whatever. Like, yeah. So my advice would be trust your provider to give you accurate information, not some Yahoo on the other side of a keyboard that thinks that no, don't do that.
No,
please.
And I like your point. Your provider is also online, but is a real provider, and you can drive there and get an appointment and go there in person.
But even if you have like an in-person, like my doctor is in person and she's virtual. So sometimes I have a virtual appointment with her just because I don't have to go into the thing for me to tell her.
She's a real person with a real office.
Yeah. Right.
That's different. Telemedicine is not the same as online pharmacy where they like.
Oh God. Right.
Yeah.
So there's lots of options out there for you guys. You got to just find a provider that knows what they're doing. That's done this before and can give you the best advice and is available to talk to you, right? You don't want to get in there with somebody that's like, okay, here's the stuff, and then you never hear from them again, right? That's not good.
Yeah. I'll reiterate my commercial for plastic surgeons because they have no interest in doing anything risky ever. They are really helpful and they want you to have a good experience so that you eventually have plastic surgery.
Right.
So what are their incentives? Their incentives are to build a relationship with you. And that's just built in. And that's why I like to start there. I just love them. And their offices are really nice and clean and friendly. And they answer the phone. And, the level's just higher. So if you're listening and you have a great provider that you think we should know about, just send us a message. I would love to add them. I have a list on the website at lessofyou.com in the footer. It's like a trusted providers list. So if you think we should add yours, just send me a note. Cammie's provider's been on the show. Mine's been on the show. You can go back and listen to those episodes, Dr. Franco. And yours is, what was her name?
Cassie.
Yeah.
Cassie. Why am I not blank? I'm blanking out on her last name. But
is it Lane?
Dr. Yes. Yeah. Cassie Lane.
Cassie Lane.
Cassie. Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
I'm tired, girl. Shoot. Oh, fatigue is the other one that you'll have.
Yeah. I don't even remember that. When I added B12, it just went away. So that's a good, thank you for remembering that.
Yes. So I kind of got lax on my B12 and I haven't really taken it the last couple of weeks. So that's why I'm kind of dragging ass. And it's pouring rain and the weather's crappy, which makes me just want to like hibernate, which is really hard to do when you have a 7-year-old that's home on winter break.
I sent them to the zoo today. They're over at the zoo.
Well, I told my husband, I was like, can we negotiate something here, sir? I said, my mom, bless her heart, bought us a annual subscription membership to the Children's Museum. And if you've never heard of the Children's Museum, I think they're in some other cities in the US, but they have one in Indianapolis that's world class. It's amazing. And I told him, I was like, okay, if you can take Cordelia to the Children's Museum this weekend, I will clean the house.
Oh.
And he's like, what's stopping you from doing that right now? You know, and I was like, okay, that's not a valid question. All right. I just like to be by myself. I have to have like zero interruptions or I get completely derailed. And he doesn't get it. It's fine. But I said, if you can get her out of the house for like 3 hours, and my house is a disaster. Like since, like Thanksgiving was this huge whirlwind and then everything kind of went to shit. And then it was like, oh, wait, it's Christmas. Let's put the tree up and throw some decorations on it. Cordelia decorated the tree this year. She's like, can I do the tree? I'm like, you sure can, baby. Knock yourself out. I was like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah,
do whatever you want.
Touch the tree. They did the whole thing. It looks insane because like the top third is empty.
Oh yeah, that's right, because they can't reach it. Right. And then they have like all like where their line of sight is like where the most.
Yeah. It's like all jammed. Like, I think it looks better.
It doesn't matter to me really either way.
I like it. But I like it like that.
So let me ask you this. What's your girls' relationship with Santa? Do we believe? Are we not believing? What are we doing?
I think it's just sort of low key. Like they're not obsessed. They still kind of believe. At my younger one's preschool Christmas program, one of the teachers is 81, I think, Mrs. Donna. And Mrs. Donna doesn't give 2 Fs. Okay. So
she sounds like my kind of lady.
I
want to be that way. 81. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a shit. I don't care.
Yeah. So the owner's mother is Mrs. Donna. Okay.
Nice.
Ellie loves Mrs. Donna. And Donna she's an old Texas lady. So she wears a ton of jewelry. Like it's sort of like if 1 is good, 10 is better. Mm-hmm. So she's
I get behind that.
Decked out every day for daycare. She's wearing all the earrings, all the rings, all the bracelets, and all the necklaces. Well, Ellie wants to look like Mrs. Donna. So she does the same thing. And she puts all her little kid jewelry on the same way Mrs. Donna does. So she loves Mrs. Donna. And she hugs her every day before she leaves. Okay.
That is the cutest.
Mrs. Donna, it's sort of like that SNL skit where they're playing the keyboard and doing the songs. You remember this one with Will Ferrell and Sherry O'Terry? And they do that. Or am I mixing? It doesn't matter. I could be mixing it up with the cheerleaders, but you get the vibe. So Mrs. Donna plays the electronic keyboard for the Christmas program. And she'll play, kind of play with one hand and look around and see what else is going on, make a bunch of mistakes, and then just get back on the train. Before the Christmas program starts, she gets up there and she goes, I just want to tell all of you parents, I'm going to give it to you straight here. You can't have Santa without Jesus.
Oh,
because and I like to say, Jesus is magic. No, Santa is magic. Jesus is real.
Wow.
And everybody in the room is like rapt. Like, what's the wisdom Mrs. Donna going to drop on us today?
Just dropping serious.
It was amazing. I wish I had a video of her saying it because it was so good.
Oh, it's classic.
Yeah. And but it's kind of, I read another article that was similar to that where they weren't even like a religious family, but they were like, without the Christmas story, Santa just is like kind of thin. Like there's not enough there. So I'm going to have to keep thinking about that. Like, can you really have one without the other? Do you need I think you need them both. But anyway, no, they see Santa in so many places that I had to be like, this Santa's not the real Santa. He's just filling in for the real Santa so you can take pictures. And I started doing that so long ago that they'll walk up to him now and be like, "You're not the real Santa."
Oh, God. You're like, well, let's not be rude.
He's just a substitute. Yeah.
Oh, God. That's hysterical.
Yeah, they're too smart. They're just too smart for it. So I'm just going to let it be. I'm not going to push it in any one direction.
Yeah, Cordelia came home, and I guess some kids were talking on the bus, and she's like, yeah, I guess she's a mommy. Some kids think Santa's not real. Like, she was trying to test the waters. I said, well, what do you think? She's like, well, I think he's real. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, that's what I do.
Like, that was the whole conversation. But answer
the question. Just ask another question. Jeez.
Right? And so Justin and I kind of talked about it, and I was like, well, should we tell her? Should we not? Like, he's like, he wanted one more Christmas with her believing in Santa. He's like, next year, she'll be 8. Like, she's not going to be, she's going to catch on pretty quick. So I figured, well, we'll just skip through one more year. But quite frankly, I mean, if I'm a shit mom for saying this, then so be it. But I'm kind of ready for her to not believe in Santa anymore because it's a lot of work.
It is. It is.
It's so much work because you have to do all the gifts. And this year, she had an obscene amount of gifts.
Trust me, I know.
Like, everybody went bonkers. I don't know what it was. Like, my sister sent like 10 presents for her. I'm like, what are you doing? And I think she just kind of went crazy because she's like, click, 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 bye, 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 send. Like, she did,
forget.
And then she made presents and sent those. I'm like, oh my God. Anyways, so, so I had to wrap all of that. And then I had to save what was going to be from Santa and wrap those in special wrapping paper. Because she's like, Mom, do you just write that it's from Santa on the present, but it's really from you? Like, laser focus, this kid.
Yeah.
I was like, you want a cookie? I was like, here, have some chocolate kisses and go away. I can't handle you right now. So
Corey's got my 7-year-old also. She's just gotten so smart, and she's grown up so fast this year. I feel like we're entering a new era.
Yep. It's like, she's still a little girl, but you can see the adult in there.
Yeah.
You can start to see, you know what I mean? So yeah, Cordelia's starting to show that stuff too. I'm like, what in the hell is this?
Yeah. I'm going to run out of time. She's going to be leaving. She's 7. I'm like, she's going to be leaving in 11 years. Yeah, it's really weird.
Yep. I know, wild. If you're lucky, she will. She could live with you for probably the next 20.
Want them to, but then you don't. Like, I want you to go away, but I want you to stay here.
Yeah. But I want you to be at my beck and call, and anytime I want a snuggle or a hug, you best be right there. Just saying. Yep.
Well, it's good stuff.
Oh, speaking of.
That's our cue to be done.
Like and subscribe.
Happy New Year. Like and subscribe.
Follow us on Instagram at Less of You Podcast. Are you confronting the same challenges and have a story to tell? I'd love to hear your story on our Skinny Shot Stories podcast. Contact me for more details at skinnyshotstories.com. If you're a doctor and would like to learn more about sponsoring this or any of our cosmetic surgery and weight loss podcasts, go to lessofyou.com. Less of You is a production of The Axis, TAGAXIS.io.